All right, let's talk about Polish. Have you ever stared at a sentence and just felt your brain completely short-circuit? Yeah, but here's the thing. It's not just random chaos. There's a code, and today we're going to crack it. By the end of this, I promise, the logic behind it all is going to click.
So, this is the number one question, isn't it? Why do the words keep changing? You learn one word, and then you see it in a sentence, and it looks completely different. It feels like you're trying to hit a moving target. But what if I told you there's a system, a really simple and elegant one actually, that explains everything? Stick with me.
Okay, here's our game plan. We're going to follow the clues one by one. First up, noun gender. Then we'll see the domino effect it has on adjectives. We'll take a quick look at verbs, and then we'll find the master key that unlocks the whole thing. Let's do it. All right, first things first. Every single noun in Polish has a secret identity. And this, right here, is the first and most important clue. It's the absolute foundation for everything else that happens in the language. And here it is. Every noun, and I mean every single noun, from a person to a table to an idea, is either masculine, feminine, or neuter. That's it. This isn't just a fun fact, it is the unbreakable rule that the entire grammar system is built on. It's the bedrock.
So how do you know a noun's secret identity? Well, you can usually tell just by looking at its ending. It's like a little clue. See student, it ends in a consonant. Boom, that's almost always masculine. See matka, it ends in that A. That's your classic sign for a feminine noun. And words like lotnisko, ending in O or E, you're looking at a neuter noun. It's a pattern, a shortcut. Okay, so what? Nouns have gender? Why should you care? Well, you're about to see why it's so incredibly important. Because that one little piece of information, it starts a chain reaction. And the very first domino to fall, it's the adjective.
I love this analogy because it's perfect. Adjectives are total chameleons. They don't really have their own fixed identity. Their one and only job is to look at the noun they're describing, see its gender, and then poof, they change their ending, their color, to match it perfectly. They just want to blend in.
And check this out. This is where you see it in action. Look at good student. Student is masculine, so the adjective is dobry. But look what happens with good mother. Matka is feminine, so the adjective changes to become dobra. And for a nice name, imię, which is neuter, it's ładna. Do you see that? The adjective is shape-shifting every single time to match the noun. This right here. This is that first big click moment where it all starts to make sense.
So it's not random at all. There are clear rules to this game. If the noun is masculine, the adjective gets an E or an I. If it's feminine, it gets that ah. And if it's neuter, it gets an e. That's the pattern. It's simple, it's predictable, and once you know it, you can't unsee it. Okay, we've got nouns and adjectives working together in harmony. Let's just park that for a second and take a quick look at verbs. We're just going to talk about their default mode, their factory settings, you could say. This basic form is called the infinitive. It's simply the to do something version of the verb, like to run or to see. And in Polish, there's a huge giveaway, that ch ending. If you see a word ending in ch, you're almost certainly looking at a verb in its basic, unchanged form. Just look at these two super common examples. Mieć, meaning to have, and być, meaning to be. See it? That ch on the end of both of them? That's your signal. That's the verb in its dictionary form. Okay, we've gathered our clues. We know that nouns have gender, that adjectives have to agree with them, and that verbs have a basic form. Now, it's time for the big reveal. We're about to find the master key that explains why all the endings keep changing.
So here's the secret. Polish is what's called an inflected language. And what does that actually mean? Well, think about English. We know who's doing what because of word order. The dog chases the cat. In Polish, it's the ending of the word that tells you its role in the sentence.
This job title analogy is perfect for this. Think of it like this. Every word in a sentence has a job to do. Is it the subject, the one doing the action? Is it the object, the one receiving the action? Well, in Polish, the word's ending is literally its job title. It's a little tag that shouts, "Hey, I'm the subject," or "Pissed, over here, I'm the object." And these are the main job titles a word can have. These are the famous grammatical cases. Now, don't panic. You do not need to memorize this list right now. The only thing to see here is that there's a defined system. Each of these jobs requires its own special word ending. That's all.
So what's the point of this whole system? Well, it's actually really powerful. Because the ending tells you the word's job, you don't need a strict word order like we do in English. You can move words around for emphasis. It also means you don't need little words like or the. The grammar is baked right into the words themselves.
All right, we have the master key. We understand the system. Let's go back to our original mystery and watch all the pieces. The gender, the adjective agreement, and the cases all click together perfectly. Let's see the code in action. To jest zdolny student. Student is masculine, and yep, there it is. The adjective zdolny ends in I. Perfect. Next, to jest ambitna pani. Pani is feminine, so the adjective becomes ambitna, ending in a. And finally, to jest kolorowe zdjęcie. Zdjęcie is neuter, so the adjective is kolorowe with that a. See? The noun's gender is the boss, and the adjective just does what it's told. It's a perfect system.
And that's it. That's the big secret. What seemed like total, unpredictable chaos is actually a really neat and logical system. You now officially understand the core logic of Polish grammar. You've unlocked the why.
So let's just run through the keys to the code you're walking away with. 1. Nouns have gender, and you can usually spot it by the ending. 2. Adjectives are chameleons. They absolutely must agree with the noun's gender. 3. Basic verbs in their dictionary form usually end in chi. And 4. The master key. Those endings change to show a word's job title in the sentence. That's the whole system in a nutshell.
So, the code is cracked. The mystery is solved. You now have the fundamental keys to understanding how Polish sentences are built. So the only real question left is, now that you know the rules, what are you gonna build? What's the first thing you want to say?